Yo, what's up, team? I'm back in the building bringing y'all that real review, and that's for real. Before I get into that though, I want to give a shout out to my big homie Luis for inviting the Justice League to an early screening of the Incredibles film. The shit was lit, the shit was fun, and thank you, brother. Team J3, you guys gotta take a look at his channel. It's called Nerd Report. He has tons of content that I know you guys will truly appreciate.
He ain't lying.
Let's get into this review. Let's talk about this story, and here's a quick synopsis. This movie takes place right after Incredibles 1, where we find the Parr family, aka the Incredibles, and your boy Frozone still doing good deeds for the city, even though the law says it's illegal to be a super. That's when this major big-time telecommunication tycoon named Winston Deaver comes to the supers with the proposal like, hey, let me sponsor you guys so we can show the world that supers are still needed and they can lift this BS law. That's the movie, guys. Let's talk about the story. I thought the foundation of the story was dope. I like the fact that they're trying to bring back the supers. I dug that part of the story. I thought that's the foundation. I'm like, okay, that's great. But the things they sprinkled on top of the story made the story wobbly. It diluted what the whole plot of the movie was all about. They started throwing in situations that are going on in 2018 in this type of film. And it really made the movie not feel like an Incredibles film. If you guys remember in Incredibles Part 1, the story made you feel like family. Made you want to root for the family. This movie, you didn't root for the family. The story basically said only root for Elastigirl. Don't root for Mr. Incredible. Don't root for Dash. Just root for Elastigirl. And I felt that killed the whole story for me. It wasn't fun. It's like, damn, I came to see characters that I adored in Part 1, and you're just giving me one of them. So the story really failed on that part. I thought, you know, throwing in that SJW into the story really messed it up. It made it not fun. It made it too political. It made it too serious. It made it to 2018 and not an Incredibles film. That part I did not dig of the story. The foundation was dope, but I ain't like all that stuff, man. I'm like, man, damn, man, like, you gonna show me some more heroes? What's up? You gonna show me Mr. Incredible? You gonna show me Dash? What's up with Jack, you know, Violet? What's going on, you know? But it was all about Elastigirl, and the story really pushed her. They forced Elastigirl in your face. Now, I ain't gonna lie. I know it's a cartoon, but Elastigirl got it going on, and I'll take them hips and that cheeks any day of the week. I'll force it, but not in that way where you're just like, oh, she's a hero, she's a hero, she's a hero. I didn't like that. I didn't like that. So the story really failed on that part. Let's talk about the cast, character development, voice acting, all that good things. This movie is starring your boy Craig Nelson, Holly Hunter, and your boy Samuel Jackson. They play Mr. Incredible, Elastigirl, and Frozone. Voice acting, beautiful. Didn't lose a beat from Part 1, 100%. Thought the voice acting was dope. That's about all that was dope. The characters though weren't the same, and it has to do a lot with the story. It's like they switched places. Mr. Incredible turned straight into punk mode. He was no longer Mr. Incredible. His power sets were up and down. He never had a consistent power set anymore. You guys remember Incredibles 1, this guy was lifting trucks like trains, like This one, he could barely move certain things. They made him a stay-home dad. They showed that he was a bad dad, trying to become a good dad. They made the mom #1 of everything. Elastigirl was the man. And Frozone, he did some things, but he was kind of like, hey, I'm out of it, man. You don't want to be part of this. Hey, whoa. They neutralized these characters for that SJW shit that I don't like. I don't like that because you took something from me. Like, when you watch the movie, I wanted to see Dash. I wanted to see him do his thing. They neutralized him to give Violet more shine. Stuff like that. You killed the family. I wanted to see the Incredibles as a whole be tight. Like Part 1, I went in expecting an Incredibles film. Actually, however, no, hold on. Hearing the idea of the Incredibles 2, I'm expecting an Incredibles movie. Seeing the trailers, I had a good idea this is where they were going. Correct. I had to correct myself. And they went exactly where I thought they were going. And it really hurt this movie. There's elements that are great in the casting, 100%. Jack stole the show. The little baby was the best part. It was so cute and fun, and just seeing a baby, it reminded me so much of my son, because my son is growing out of the Jack stage right now. He's understanding a little bit more. But man, they're like this. They're so similar, so similar. Which you guys watch it? It's so similar. But besides Jack, the family was effed up. They weren't a family anymore. The mom went and did the dad job. The dad did the mom job. The brother was feeding off his mama not being there. Daddy effed up. The sister all over the place. Jack disappearing. It was like, what's going on? This is no longer a family. And to me, it hurt the movie. It hurt the movie because when I seen The Incredibles 1, you know, you seen Mr. Incredible going through things because he wanted to be a hero. And his wife knew that. But she told him, like, Bob, we can't do that. You know, we got to do this. We got to take care of the family. You got to stay as a family. We can't. I don't want you to go because of the family. And when things got tough, they came together as a family. This one didn't feel like that. The way they carried the characters, they were just Elastic Girl. She was the main star. And nobody else. It was all about Elastic Girl. The movie should have just been called The Incredibles, Elastic Girl Story. Because I didn't get no Incredibles out of this movie. It was too much of 2000 was going on in this time of day that they threw into that movie with those characters, and they really neutralized those characters. My God, Mr. Incredible was a shell of himself. If I had saw this movie first, I wouldn't even like Mr. Incredible. Frozone was cool, seeing his powers, but I wouldn't even like him neither. You know what I'm saying? Dash, a shell of what he was. He was such an adventurous child, wanted to be a hero, wanted to experience life and do his thing. And let's just say, like, this movie takes place right after part 1, and he was a shell of what he was. It's like these heroes, I can see if they had grew up, Mr. Incredible got older, Jack got older, like, hey, I don't want to do that no more. Violet's like, hey, I want to be a hero. And, you know, show him in a transition like that, that would make more sense. But when you show them coming right after part one, and they're a shell of what they were in part 1, the writing the story takes a big L for that sheet, because it really neutralized the story for me. I just me watching, it really hurt the story for me. It really did. It really did. It was like, man, this really sucks. I'm not getting anything out of these characters. I'm getting a lot of Elastic Girl that I didn't even ask for nor needed. I don't even think Elastic Girl needed that. Elastic Girl knew where she stood, and she was a strong woman, and all they did was give her more. They souped her up even stronger. I mean, she was yelling back at her husband, bruh, and he was just trying to be a man he was falling apart, and she didn't even have his back. That is not an Elastic Girl trait. Bob was hurt. And she didn't even have his back. She actually competed with him at the table in front of the kids. Not happening. I ain't like that. Nah, I ain't like that shit one bit. That ain't happening. Your man needs help. As the woman, you're the backbone of the family, and you're there to help him. It's not about getting a job. It's about helping his psyche. And she left him while he was breaking to break even more. And people forget about that in the movie when you watch it. He was effed up. The only thing he was good at, he couldn't do. And now you sit a broken man to watch kids so you can go break the money? That was an effed up situation. I did not like that. Didn't appreciate that. You're the woman of that house. You're the backbone. You're supposed to make sure your man is all right. That's your husband you married. And they neutralize all that shit. And I thought out of the characters, that was kind of effed up. Really effed up. And then his boy being Frozone, being his best friend, he was barely there. Like your boy is effed up right now. He ain't doing too good. His psyche is all effed up, and no one cared really. They just left him there with those kids, and it made him look like a bad father. He loved his kids, but he was a bad dad because he couldn't do simple things. They try to show him he was a shell of himself, y'all. Trust me when I'm telling you. I did not appreciate what they did to my boy, Mr. Incredible. I did not appreciate what they did to my girl, Elastic Girl. And I did not appreciate what they did to my boy, Frozone. Didn't appreciate that because those characters to me, I hold dear, man. You know, I like those characters. I like them. And what they did to them in this movie was terrible. I didn't like that. Voice acting was dope though. The music, the music. Same composer, I believe his name is Michael Giacchino. When the music was okay, but it felt lazy. It's weird, right? Same composer, everything. It just didn't. Maybe, you know what? I'm not even gonna go on the composer like that. I think he did his job. I just think the story just did not feel. The story didn't mix with the music. The story didn't mix with the music. It was all over. The story's all over the place. The music is still giving you that Incredibles feel, but the Incredibles ain't the Incredibles. So it's kind of like down. You're like all over the place. Like, what's going on? I'm trying to, but it ain't working. So I will say the music was cool when you think about it. The music was good. The movie, the story, the characters weren't on the same level as the score. That's bad. This movie was directed by the writer Brad Bird. Yeah, Brad Bird. He's the director and the writer. I thought the directing was good this time around. The directing, he had a lot of cool shots. A lot of action. They did show Mrs. Incredible getting into work. Elastic Girl doing her thing. She going to work. They had a nice train chasing on a motorcycle. I thought it was really cool how to utilize her abilities. This movie does show Elastic Girl full potential, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that as far as a visual aspect. You know, she really did her thing. Elastic Girl, she was a detective. She was figuring out things. They showed what she's all about. That mom instinct, things like that did occur with her. Directing was cool. The visuals were really good. I thought though, honestly, it's weird. I believe I visually seeing it, maybe it's just the theater, but part one looked better. Part one looked smoother. It looked more organic. This one looked more technical. Like they put too much in it. Too much in it. You know what I mean? But it was still cool to see. It's just that I'm comparing it to part one now because you're looking at like, part one looked better to me for some reason. I'm gonna go back and watch it. Maybe it was a theater screen I was looking at, but part one looked better and the directing to me was better in part one. Was your boy J3 entertained? You better believe I was entertained throughout this whole movie. Despite the story and the characters, the movie's very entertaining. The action is there, visually is there. Directing was cool. I was very entertained. Jack, my boy, stole the show. He was so cute and so delightful. There's a scene in there, y'all. Probably one of the best. I'm gonna say it right now. I'm on record. It's probably one of the best Disney scenes I've ever seen of action, and it has to do with Jack. And the shit was dope. I laughed my ass off. I said, "This is hilarious." When I buy this movie, I'm just gonna watch that scene. It was so cute and so tight at the same time. You rarely get cute and tight at the same time. Jack stole the show. I was so entertained by that character. I can't wait to see what they do in part 3. Where can he grow up a little bit more? You know what I mean? I like Jack. I liked him since part 1, and they really gave me a lot of Jack in this one, which I do appreciate. But with that, they took so much away from Dash, which is my favorite character. So you took away my speedster, you gave me Jack, and you gave me a lot of Violet. Nah, I don't care about Violet. Cool power, but I can give 2 cents about her. I like Dash, I like Jack, I like Elastic Girl. You know what I mean? but They took a lot away from Dash, man. I was really expecting some more out of Dash, man. But I was entertained, 100% entertained. I don't want to spoil anything. I like this film, but I dislike this film. And like I said before, that SJW shit really put a bad taste in my mouth. How they transition those characters over from part 1 to now was really like, what the hell's going on? Why they do that to them characters? Damn, godly. I didn't like that. I didn't like certain things about the movie too. Like, it was a lot of 2018. Like, there was a character in the movie that had a 2018 hairstyle, and she was like a 2018 person. And I'm like, wait a minute, ain't this movie between the 50s and the... It was a... I didn't like all that shit. Just keep it 100 with y'all. But let's get on this audience experience, baby. The audience experience was dope. The kids were laughing. The adults was happy. This was a great vibing movie, 100% in the theaters, y'all. I truly adored this movie. The audience experience, I'm gonna give this movie an A-. However, as a critic, I like the movie, but I'm a story guy and I'm a character development guy. Even though visually it could be cool, directing could be cool, and people can have a good time, doesn't always mean a movie's an A. I'm gonna give this movie, on a critic's perspective, a C+.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Damn!
I know. Some cats are like, what? It is what it is. It's a C+ film if you want to look on a critic's perspective. Because of what they did to the characters, it didn't feel, the story wasn't solid anymore. The foundation was cool, but everything they threw in really threw the story off track, threw the characters for a turn. They was a shell of what they were in part 1. If you're coming in after part 1 and looking at what you're seeing, you're gonna be like in disgust. You're like, what the hell is this, man? Why they do that to them characters, bro? And I hate when people do that to their own characters. It's crazy. Like, it's the same people. It's the same cast, everything. They just neutralize them.
He ain't lying.
With that being said, hope you guys enjoyed the review where I keep that sheet 100 at all times. Put in the comments down below. Let me know what you guys thought about the movie as far as an audience experience and as a critic. I would love to know what you guys thought. Thumbs this video up and subscribe to J3 Entertainment if you're about that real and a real deal, and that's for real. And shout out to Team J3. We on that move. 15,000 deep and we're headed to that 1 million subscriber spot, baby. J3 out.